And AAA is expecting a record 72 million Americans to travel 50 miles or more during the July 4th holiday weekend. Of those 72 million Americans, more than 61 million are expected to travel by car. That's up 1.3 million over last year, while air travel is predicted to rise more than 1% to nearly 6 million people. Who better to join us now than Clint Henderson? He's a travel expert for The Points Guy. Okay, so I know you've got some new reporting on pricing for solo passengers versus couples. What did you find?
So this has been an ongoing story that we've been covering, and we did a deep dive with a company called PointsPath, and they have a ton of data on flights. And so what we found is that airlines are charging more for solo passengers sometimes than they are for couples. But the reverse is also true sometimes. So couples are paying sometimes more than solo passengers. So yes, it's happening. Yes, it's annoying, but it's not a huge conspiracy and it's not the end of the world. Just be an informed consumer, because you can compare the prices and then figure out if you're getting a good deal or not.
Well, that's the most important thing, right?
Yes.
I mean, do your research. I'm happy to hear, though, it's both. It's not, one side of us being targeted. This is going to be the first 4th of July weekend with the real ID requirement. Tips for air travelers.
So the good news is there's been very little fallout from the imposition of the Real ID enforcement. They put a little 2-year wiggle room in there for enforcement. So I feel like TSA is being very flexible. That said, if you're not Real ID compliant, bring a backup birth certificate, a bank statement, an old driver's license, whatever you have that can confirm your identity in case you get separated out for a secondary screening, and get to the airport just a tiny bit earlier than you normally would if you're not Real ID compliant.
Oh, well, better. It's always better to get there early.
Yes,
My
agreed.
family and I were traveling to Hawaii recently. I was like, does everyone have their Real ID?
Yeah.
Like, this is important.
Yeah.
You have called this the Summer of Savings, which is music to my ears, because I want to travel. Tell us why.
So at The Points Guy, we usually tell people book 1 to 3 months ahead of time for domestic, 3 to 5 months for international. That's sort of gone out the window. I am calling it the Summer of Savings because we're seeing so many last-minute flight deals. Even Europe in July and August, under $500, not on like random low-cost carriers, but on Delta, American, United.
Oh, wow, that is really
so
good.
It's extraordinary what we're seeing this summer. Also, points and miles availability that we haven't seen in literally years. I think the capacity is up and there's a slight decrease in demand, and so that means savings for consumers.
Well, that is music to my ears. We have to go to Italy this summer for a wedding, not Jeff Bezos's,
Okay.
but I will be looking for those deals. Clint Henderson, thank you for your time on a Friday.
Good to see you.